That's why you're blocked. Blocked.
That's why you're blocked. You're listening to That's Why You're Blocked podcast.
Right, and we're back for episode 10 and the end of this first season. Welcome to That's Why You're Blocked podcast. I'm Carson Bailey.
I'm Chanel Schatz.
And we've got our lovely Kennedy Woods back to end off this first season. Hey.
Hi, friends. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. And we want to
Yes.
thank you guys for listening to us for the past, 3-4 months now?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, you guys.
Through.
Yes. And
Oh, thanks.
it's got so many people to shout out and all the love that we've received, especially from, other people creating podcasts and all our listeners. It means a lot. So let's get into this. I think this is going to be the start of a new series.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to end the year off with a bang, and we'll be back in February, guys. We're taking some time to get our life together, get some good content, get some workout. We may or may not be
Turning
on
into
somebody
bad
else's
bitches.
podcast.
Oh, yes, definitely. But
Stay
also, we're
tuned.
trying to get some type of consistency as well. So if we take a
Spiritual
break,
journey.
we'll be able to do that. Yeah, we
And bring
are
you guys
doing the
back.
podcast too.
Bring you guys back on bring back some good content. I got a little tongue tied. All right, so let's get into it.
Get into that. Kennedy, what are you leaving in 2020?
Oh, yeah.
I'm leaving Trump.
Ooh.
I'm leaving Corona. Fat shaming.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And just with fat shaming, let's just add in bullying altogether. Like, that's just internet trolling.
Definitely.
I do think that I don't think a lot of people realize how, emotionally draining it is. And because a lot of people are like, oh, it's just log off. I'm like, it's hurtful. And a lot of people feel like since they're behind a screen, they say some really
Wild stuff.
crazy, fucked up shit. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of Lipstick Alley with, like, YouTubers and stuff, but, like, people have reported, like, them to, like, CPS and try to get people's kids taken away.
Wow.
And stuff like that. And, like, it's some real crazy shit. And I don't know, people are incredibly negative. Like, I'm not a content creator yet, but...
Well, this is content creating.
Well, in the sense of, like...
YouTube?
Well, we're on YouTube. Check
Oh,
us
that's
out.
true.
Make sure you subscribe!
Slight plug.
Shameless plug, but I guess we're not super visual and share a lot, but I've seen a lot of people get really upset when people, like, don't post, or, like, they'll be talking about, like, oh, this dumbass bitch, that, like, it's crazy. Like, there's whole pages of people just hating on...
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, people are
Celebrities.
very entitled to people's lives and content at this point just because they have such immediate and quick access to it.
Definitely, like the amount of hate Lizzo gets, and I'm like, yo, this lady is living her life.
Bro, Liz will be like, I'm happy. And they're like, your fat ass should be depressed. How dare you smile, bitch, with your big back.
And then literally, then she said she was sad. And then they were just like,
Like, that's
what
what
the fuck you supposed to be happy? Like,
Yo, it's like, that's what your fat ass, bitch ass gets. It's crazy.
It's crazy. She was like, yo, I do not want to be an activist because I'm fat and black. I want to be an activist because I care about shit. You all keep putting me in this category of having low self-esteem. I don't. What's the issue?
I think that's the thing. People really dislike themselves. And
Projection is real.
so they're like, in my skin, I'm not comfortable. So how can you look what is not perceived to be, the European standard of beauty and be okay with yourself when I don't look like you and I'm not? It is really crazy. And it's just like, I guess what I've realized is how deeply rooted a lot of it is. And like the language that you use is incredibly crazy. And it's just like, people really hate her for no reason. Now, we are all, on the tick that's like cold oatmeal. Like
Tick.
right? So
couple C's at the end of that.
several, with a Q maybe if you're nasty. So like, do you feel like skinny shaming, right, is a thing?
It's a thing, but I don't, trying to use my language.
Well, no, because
Damaging is the word that comes to mind when I think of fat
I
shaming.
agree.
Like how different characters, like if we look at shows like Moesha, Kim wasn't even that big. Like honestly, but the amount of like fat jokes that she got, and it's always like that character is the best friend, never the main character number one. So that's already telling like bigger girls who don't fit a certain mode, you're never going to be the one.
Shout out to That's So Raven though.
Yeah, That's So Raven was revolutionary, especially like the size episodes she did where she was like, I'm a model too. And at the time, like Raven's bigger now. By the time she was like size 8.
Yep.
Yeah, which is
which is lower than the state's average.
It's not even
now.
plus size.
Average now is like a size 12 or 14.
Okay.
Right.
Which is crazy, but yeah, I think I'm kind of on the same wavelength. I think that, people do it, but it's not as like, if you see a fat person like enjoying a burger, like people feel like they have license to, say something. And I'm not super skinny, so I guess I haven't seen it on that side, and it could be hurtful, but I think just overall and systemically, that's not it. Somebody say it systemically.
You said
Systematically? Is that what you're trying to say?
There it is. See?
Boom.
Shout out to her university. It is not the same as like fat shaming.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think the same thing with like light skin versus dark skin.
Different podcast, girl.
But yeah,
If y'all podcast, girl.
I also got a lot to talk about that. So
because Dejanay and Penny Proud, like Dejanay, it seemed like she always needed her permission.
For no reason.
Pam and Gina, like dang,
stuff.
you couldn't get no big head jokes on Gina.
And the thing is, Pam
was pretty
and had the
Gorgeous.
body.
She did.
That I don't
Gorgeous.
think Gina, but they're really good friends. So that's
Yeah, Tashina Arnold. Yeah,
but we'll get into that. That's not even the topic.
it's really not. We just went on a All
right. Is there anything else that what are some things that you're welcoming?
In 2021?
Yeah, let's get some positive things going.
Personal and nigga wise, of course.
Oh yes.
I'm welcoming financial blessings.
Oh yes.
I'm welcoming a spiritual awakening. I'm welcoming
open that third eye.
Right? That third eye, and to just like treat myself as I want others to treat me.
No, that's
real.
That's
real. You teach others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
I think it took a while to like get to that point where you're like, I deserve better. You gotta give out,
and you gotta give it to yourself first.
Yeah, and people only give what you allow.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can still like not fat shame and still want to be in shape and want to be healthy.
I think that's the thing. It is the perceived like unhealthiness, because there was a video of Sweetie taking ramen noodles and like putting like hot sauce and cheese and seasoning, and like everybody thought that was cool. And I'm like, I know if y'all saw her with the instant ramen pack,
it's like, you need to go see a doctor. Like, I'm sure you probably have like hypertension. You have high blood pressure. You need to go see somebody.
And
like,
it is okay if you're like to be bigger. You can love yourself. Like that's the other thing, and you could, like you said, be bigger and work on living a healthier
plus
lifestyle.
Plus size models are like have to have some type of healthy lifestyle. Like this, it's not
plus size models to be size 8s.
Yeah.
Where
no, what do you mean?
They're just standing
I
next
will
to those
say
there's
that's true. I will say there's more of a like to be a plus size model, you have to have usually like a flatter stomach.
Yeah.
It's like yes, you may be a little thick in the hip,
but standard for a plus size woman.
Exactly, but you have to have
mold that you do.
There's still a mold to be acceptable by the viewer's eyes.
You have to be shot in a certain way so that your stomach doesn't look as big. Like
because the stomach still isn't acceptable, even though if you're plus size, you have a stomach.
Yes,
like the likelihood of you having a large belly is just the thing of it. I mean, fupa is a thing. Like, come on,
and
fupas
niggas
come
got
in all
fupas
shapes
too.
and sizes.
Yeah. Niggas got fupas too. So you
Rub
over
on
here
your man's fupa.
being
it's cuffing season. It's cold.
Big nigga season. Is it big nigga season?
It is.
For me, it always
definitely
kind of is. But I mean, like, it's the specific type of big.
But is it still called a fupa? Because
it's fat upper penis area.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
We like interchangeable words.
Exactly. Not body shaming at all.
Or not. But, you still got to be at least 6'4" to ride the ride.
She can't leave that alone, y'all. She can't leave that alone. But you also told me that every time you slip and every time you go under, it's always some shit. And then it's like, damn, for all that I could have got. What a tall nigga.
I feel like that's the thing. When I've lowered my standards, it still don't work out. So it's like, why even
do it?
Has that happened to you, or you lowered your? This is probably a good segue into the topic of dating, when you've lowered your standards and like you're like,
they bring
that
the
was
most
a waste
drama
of time, and it's like I could have just been a bougie bitch like I was planning on being, but look at me trying to be nice,
trying to be down
and be open and like different, and then I feel like God's like that.
I think that the standards are for a reason, and the thing is, most women, we really don't have super high standards. Like y'all think it's high, it's really not. It's some bare minimum shit. Like be a decent human being.
Shit, nice. Nice. That's the sad part. All right, so let's get into the shit that comes through a phone or
going through phones.
All right, ladies, before I answer, has anybody gone through somebody's phone?
I've had my phone gone through by 2 different niggas. One of them broke my phone. He did not like what he saw. Not great. What he saw was Chanel being a little messy. You know, I was sliding around a little bit. However, he had a right. He broke my phone like twice. I'm like, yo, you checked it the first time. You checked it the second time. It wasn't much of a difference. So when I was checking my phone, and he was just sad, and I felt kind of bad. He also saw something he didn't want to see. Well, stop looking, because I've done it myself, and I had an episode. I felt like I had a psychotic break. Like this nigga was sleeping. I thought it was the perfect opportunity. I knew his phone password. I went through and I woke him up with Gatorade. Poured all up on him. And I was like, I know this Negro ain't sleep. And it kept getting louder. I couldn't stop myself. So yes, but I won't be doing it again. After that time, I went through someone's phone. Like never again. I'm not doing it. No good can come from it. If you have to do it, that's a sign.
I think the thing is you will always find something when you go look.
Yes.
I've told people that. Like, can I see your phone? Like, don't get mad if you go look and you find something that hurt your feelings. Don't look.
I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to.
That's the real thing. All right, I've gone through a person's phone.
Before we say that, Chanel, I feel like you should just increase your security standards.
Mine is my birthday. It's always my birthday because I don't have anything to hide.
Well, but also, clearly you did.
Well, I did at the time.
But it was still your birthday. And if you messing with the dude, I would hope that he would know
did
your
know my
birthday.
But all right, we haven't really gotten into that guy. That guy is a whole
it's a different slide.
Other that's a nigga tail. I feel it. He's a hot mess. So,
but change your password.
I probably could afford to keep it secure right now. I guess for me, I'm just like, and at this point, it's my Face ID. So, yeah.
What if you get with somebody who's Face ID matches your Face ID? That's weird.
That's weird.
I don't have Face ID.
Too many markers match?
No, I feel like there was a lot of that in high school. Why you dating someone like your sister, bruh?
Those are facts. But then also, I feel like a lot of studies have been saying the more you're with somebody, the more you pick up some of their traits. So you don't actually look like them, but you can start to mirror them.
Oh, that's true.
I believe that.
And that's kind of cute.
It says that, you're more likely to date, as women, your dad, and men, date people like your mom. So
that makes me upset.
It makes me scared.
Really? I'm terrified.
Bitch, I am worried. And the thing is, because I see it.
Yes.
And, the archetypes, I'm like, damn.
Yes.
Low key, that's kind of how I would want it to happen. Yes. Big nigga with dimples. But...
right? It's crazy. Because I'm seeing my sisters date and I'm seeing who they end up with. And I'm just like, wow. it is so tragic how I'm seeing mirroring traits of the stories that you're telling me about this dude that you're dating versus the stories that we have about our father. Ma'am, do you not see the parallels?
No.
Do you not see the complaints?
Well, your dad is your first introduction to a man.
I was going to say, because it's interesting, because my sister, I think I'd lean more towards physical attributes, not saying I want my dad, but just the archetype, and her...
Just the vague standard.
Personality wise, my dad doesn't really drink, the people work out, and
I can see that.
So she leans more to the personality, the people that she has. It's damn, bitch, we need help.
Truly,
get a therapy 2021. Well,
yes, that is on the list. Actually,
oh yeah, I want to start that back up.
I love it,
but it's hard to find a good therapist.
BlackLadyTherapyArchives.com.
Really?
I looked. I gotta just look.
I've been looking under just my insurance plan.
Oh no,
girl, no. There's a filter. You say I need African American.
Oh, you can do that?
Hell yeah.
What plan do you got?
Girl, I'm gonna show you. But yeah, I filter it, and I've been looking recently. I have a couple of people who I want to try to make an appointment with for the new year because I was just I want my therapist, but I want them to be Black.
Yes.
I don't know if I necessarily want them to be a male or female as of yet, so I think I might play with it just to see. I don't know which one I might feel more comfortable with, but I feel like I would want them to be
Sorry to
black.
cut you off. I went to the black lady therapist, but she was older. I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of like
Mine is under 40, and I can tell she's young.
Yeah.
But the thing about COVID right now is everything
It's
is virtual. So
Yeah.
you could have one that's out in California, possibly.
That's
Yeah.
So
true.
your search doesn't have to be DMV based.
That's
yeah,
true. I didn't
but
think
you
about
know,
that.
I'm selling my parents' insurance, and we're trying to milk that cow till it's dry.
Hell
So am I.
My
No,
mother
yeah.
kicked me off this year, y'all. Paychecks
You
are
got a
real
good
skim.
2 years left.
I know, I do. But she
26.
said no. She said she's trying to retire and she does not need me as an expense. So she said, go ahead and get on that insurance plan through your job because
Oh
I
my
ain't doing it.
No, like deadass. I'm trying to get braces right before I get off. Like that's my
That's
goal
a
for
good idea.
2021. I want them to pay for that.
That's a good idea. I tried to finesse my way through that too, and she looked at me like I was stupid. She was just
Well,
like,
my mom is kind of like every 4 or 5 days. She's like, you know, your time's almost up. You got like 3. How many more months?
no,
left?
like insurance is expensive.
It's hell.
bruh.
And like that's literally like it's every few days. It's like you got what?
You
18
better go
months
see
left?
your doctor before time clocks out.
He's like, girl.
I feel like my mom is the opposite. Like, I told my dad that, you know, I have my own insurance. I don't really need to be on yours. And he's like, no, just stay on it. You know, you never know. I'm like, that's fine, old man.
Mm-hmm. No,
You
but
good?
truly, when
I'm saying get the expensive things now. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
for
My mom
sure.
told me I should look into, like, breast reductions because it's a lot going on up here. And she's like, your back is going to keep hurting, like, until you get that done. I was like, Mom, back on up, okay? I'll be all right.
See, I told my mom I wanted one, and then she was just like,
Oh, yeah.
my mom told me to lose weight.
my mom told me that too, but she was like, you gonna get it, and then she's like, I had a friend, right,
And
that
she-
was like you, and as soon as she got
She's
it,
gonna say she's gonna have kids, and then they blew right back up.
no, she was like, she met a guy, and all he liked was really
Titty
big
man.
titties, and I was like, and then it just ruined me, and then the hairdresser I used to have that I went to one time, she was talking about it, and she's like, the breast reduction scars is like a big old cross on your boobs. You look good with clothes on, but not naked. But this was like when I was in middle school or high
surgery
school.
has progressed.
Hopefully. But like when I
You're
tell
right.
you those two ladies have ruined me getting a breast reduction. I thought about it. I would love to be
Well,
a cute
my
little
dad's side, like, it's a lot of chest over there. And one of my cousins got it, and she's living her best life at this point. But I actually have the fear your mom said, to be honest. Like, between that, and I just don't think I would look as great in clothes. Like, I really like the, not dead ass, like, all of my tops, like, they look good for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
You
It
don't
would
have no
be-
problems with your boobs. They don't need to go nowhere.
Well, yeah, if you
That's what I'm
don't,
saying.
but I would like
Well,
to
laying
But
know-
you
down
might want to
sometimes.
consider maybe wearing a brace on your off times.
or like
or
a
some of those
posture
like
thing.
posture
I
things to try to
have one.
help strengthen your
I just
back.
don't remember to wear it that often, but I know I gotta work on my posture. But I would like to go down a cup or two. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
probably notice it.
Right.
It's
Nah.
just too much. It comes from the top. It
Right.
should be out on the sides.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
be like a whole. It'd be
You'd
swinging
be like,
around
oh,
my
go
knees.
braless. Go braless. Where, bitch? Like, no.
I got enough.
That would
titty to
hurt
throw it
more.
out
Yeah.
over my
That would
shoulder.
honestly hurt more to just go braless and just be no.
It'd just be down.
And with
swinging.
that, ladies, with us having these heavy chests, we definitely need to focus on our back strengthening and training when we start hitting the gym again in 2021.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to
knees
get-
and back.
Yeah.
All of
Megan's
Oh,
knees.
We need some Megan knees.
someone else's back.
Because I tried that the other day, and getting back up from the Megan knees.
Would you
was
try to do the
not
crybaby
a good
challenge?
show. Not really.
I could do the thing,
But,
but
like-
I just don't got the cheek thing.
It was just not. It was fine while I was down there, but as soon as it was time to get back up, I felt 56.
Okay, well, Kennedy, have you gone through somebody's phone before?
I have not. I have not cared enough to try to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to see it.
Okay,
I
has someone
don't.
gone through your phone?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, Carson, what about you?
All right. So I'm normally not one of those people. I'm like, I wouldn't want you to go through mine, so I wouldn't go through yours. But this is one time I was out with this guy, and we were going to the movies, and he stopped at like a gas station or something. He left his phone. I'm like, you know what? I wonder what my number is saved in his phone. And so I look. I guess it wasn't locked either. And like, all right, there was a contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was wifey, and I'm like, is he talking about me? Because like, I don't consider him hubby.
Right.
And so I click on it, and I'm like, that's not our conversation. I found my name and like my neighborhood that I'm from, and I was like, I put that phone right back, and I will never do that again. I was like, girl. And there's another time. This wasn't going through somebody's phone, but I was out with the guy getting brunch, and he was showing me a video on his phone, and like as he was showing me, he got a text message from baby, and it was like, I don't like, you think I'm fucking stupid, bitch? Where the fuck are you? You think I'm dumb? And I pretended like I didn't see anything, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a funny video.
Oh my god.
I know how to play my role. I ain't gonna start nothing.
It won't be one. All right, so ladies, do y'all save numbers? What does it take for a guy's number to be saved in your phone?
I feel like we know Chanel here saves men's numbers, jobs,
Let me
address, blood type,
you will not,
firstborn
you
child.
will not catch Chanel slipping. Your name is saved. If I know your last name, that's perfect. Your first and last name is saved. Where I met you is saved. And what you do for a living, if it's recent, it's definitely saved.
Nah.
I like to know like who I'm dealing with.
Y'all be experiment 626 in my shit. I go by the your 3 digits. That's
Yo, that's pretty accurate.
that's kind of I kind of know people's little things.
No.
I just a guesstimate. If you text me enough, I mean, some people's number I kind of recognize, but
No.
I feel like every time I try to save a nigga's phone number, they act up.
They would act up anyway.
They act
And I
up.
have no shame. I will screenshot a conversation we're having and send it to you. And dudes will always be like, I'm weak at the name. And I'm like, I don't see an issue.
Oh yeah, I'll be editing it because it's not saved. But
I'm
I mean,
not saving numbers until we've gone out a couple of times and I see it going somewhere. Other than that, you're unsaved. And if I can't figure out who you are based off of the couple last messages of the thread to figure it out, then we not talking anymore.
I delete threads a lot, and then people hit me back up 3 weeks later. I'm like, I don't know who this
Yeah,
is.
I actually just went through my phone.
New
and
number,
deleted
new
all
number.
the threads.
I mean, most of my thing is like, oh damn, I got a new phone. I'm on my iPad. It's different. Who is
Speaking
it?
of having to be quick on your feet, have y'all ever sent like a wrong message to someone?
Several times.
How do you get out of
I've
it?
had the wrong person pull up for a date. Go outside dressed, and I'm like, wait, who is this? I was texting you.
Oh gosh,
That's wild.
So I don't like being caught
That's
off guard.
that's a little too far.
But there was something else you told me. You sent a screenshot to someone.
We talked about it last time. On the
Oh,
last episode. That's the same person.
oh god.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
All right. Well, once it was just over the summer. I sent the wrong message. I sent "eat me" to someone. Now that's kind of graphic. So the guy obviously responded with "what?" Like I didn't know we were there yet, and I was like, "Oops, sorry, we're not." So I texted him, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's this thing me and my friends do. It's called Risky Text Saturday." Or both text Saturday. We just be trying our luck. Like we'll send something real wild to a dude, and then we'll just see what he responds to. It really helps us at work with work emails. And this is gonna believe me.
Yo, I need to start taking lessons from y'all. Like, I'm not quick enough on my feet.
Like, yo, that's really dope. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it is.
Nah,
my friend got a promotion. She left her job the other day.
Damn. I'm sorry for
Oh,
my
we were talking about
dog distraction.
no.
We were talking about
Risky Text Saturday.
Yes,
risky text.
and that-
I've sent the wrong text message to people, and they be like, "Oh, really? No."
I need to start taking lessons from y'all. Y'all are too quick on y'all feet for me. Like, my response to your message would have been, oops, my bad. Like, it would not have been anything sneaky or...
Can't believe that's your
I would not have been able to finesse my way out of it. It would have been a hot mess, and I would have been caught.
No, I feel you, because that's how I'll be ended up in a lot of situations. Like, damn.
Yeah, it just had to be like, shit.
He's a smart
my
nigga,
bad.
so I'm surprised he believed me.
You know, smart niggas be dumb for pussy.
That's true.
I mean, I guess he didn't want to think too hard about it. Just like, well, she's texting me now.
So, moving into our dumb bitch alerts. This is more of a story time. So now we're going to talk about some
Some of these are dumb bitch alerts.
merged together. We're talking about disaster dates for this first episode of this new series. But first, let's define, ladies, what do we think is a date versus what is not?
All right, a date, in my mind, is you coming to my house, you picking me up, because you're a gentleman, and I'm a bitch that don't like to drive that much. But, all right, so we're going to do something, like go get some food, have a good conversation, go do an activity, go to a movies.
Mm-hmm.
You ask me out. I I'm not paying.
Understood.
Very important.
But I mean, but I'm not saying I wouldn't pay for dates. I paid for dates, but like initially, no. If you ask me out, I'm not expecting to pay. If I ask you out, then I'm expecting to pay.
Yeah.
I guess all right. I would say going on a date to your house if you're cooking, that's like an asterisk mark. But like going over your house to chill, that's not a date.
No.
It's a hangout.
That is a bad decision in the making.
Waiting to happen.
That's like in the mixer.
Especially if that's the first time you meeting up with this person. Yeah, not doing that. So yeah, so I agree with you, Carson. That's a date. And in 2020, sometimes, you know, if I'm...
Well, also, this was a whole pandemic, so it was different.
Yeah, so yeah, dating has been different. I think they've been using it to justify Netflix as chill, like, for everything. And like, bruh,
no attempts to
COVID
do anything else.
Doesn't matter when you want to hang out with your niggas, then COVID doesn't matter when you ask me for my time to go. No.
You know what's crazy, though? Like, I've seen posts about dudes, like, actually taking it seriously. There was this girl saying that this dude Uber Eats a meal to her house and then a meal to his house.
Aww.
And that they were on FaceTime for like their first date.
Effort is sexy, okay? That's effort.
And I was just like, I'm not coming to your house to watch this new Christmas movie, nigga. I'm gonna stay at home and watch this with my mother. Like, I'm really not gonna be finessing my way out of this because I see the standard and I want it. I'm not going for it. But I would agree, like a date, I don't think it's a requirement for me for them to have to pick me up. Not for the first date.
Well, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes
a woman, I like having my escape route.
Right. Safety-wise.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, that is a big thing. And trust me, there's been several times in which I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
I'm so fucking glad I drove. As well as I should have drove. So let me not say, like I said, I don't like to drive, so I would prefer. But I'm talking about like dating in general, like what I consider a date. So maybe after the first date, you're a little more trustworthy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, there was this one time, my mom had came home from work as I was leaving for a date, and I didn't give him like my exact address. I gave him like across the street.
I don't know why she's still doing that dumb shit, yo. Go ahead.
I'm with it.
And my mom was like,
if I needed them to pick me up, I would have like.
So the thing
they would need to pick me up from my bus stop from high school.
Carson is always late. So by the time the dude gets to the home,
she's walking
out of her own house.
Not all the time.
Girl.
Don't do me like
girl.
that.
So that's why I'm saying that's like dumb shit. Now, if
but at
you
the
were
same
already
time,
outside,
like, it would still look weird her standing on the corner. Like standing outside of the house.
I think it's weird giving someone else's address out.
Okay, so what happens is like I give the number in between houses. So, like, it's not an actual house. So they'll be, like, right around the corner. So I just pop out of somewhere.
And they'd be like, oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I see it.
I've never had someone pick me up from something that wasn't an apartment. My parents grew up in, I grew up in an apartment, and I live in an apartment. So, granted, maybe I have a little bit more of a veil of security. So, you know what?
Because you just have to come outside. They don't know which one's yours.
Yeah.
I come out the front door. Like, there's no mystery.
I think that is... It's just like a veil of security. Like, it don't really matter because, like, when they drop you off back home and be like...
Exactly. It's not going to be that hard to figure out, but it just...
Yeah. You know, it
feels
makes...
a little bit
feels
like I took a step for protection.
Yeah.
A small one, but it was there.
All right. So, let's get into the hell dates. If anybody remembers those shows on MTV.
I love that show. That show's freaking hilarious.
That was the one where they were like just being a really bad date on purpose to see how long they could take it.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't they get money?
I think so.
Who got money though? Was it the person who was on the date? And they didn't know it, but the longer they stayed there, they got money.
Yeah. Either their friend or sometimes like their sibling or their parents.
So was it the person on the date who got the money or the friend who?
I don't remember. How long do you think you guys could last on like a hell date?
I have a very low tolerance. I'm out.
I think it depends. I kind of like to see how shit plays out. I'm not gonna lie. So
I like to just watch it though. I don't think I would still wait as the party involved. But if I was watching your horrible date, like across the room, I'd be all in. Like,
it depends on
got 2 entrees just to make sure that I had enough time to watch it play out.
It also depends on who set it up. Like, and my best friend would probably know. Like Carson would know. Like pet peeves. if I show up to a date and this nigga ain't got like nothing going for him, he work at, I don't want to throw out no names, but you know, it's super hourly. He can't hold a conversation. Like everything that is a pet peeve for
What
me.
if he shows up in a full 3-piece lime green suit?
I don't know. Sweetwater may have to get it. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a no dog for me. I don't know. I feel like I would probably like. I'm gonna try to eat if we're going to dinner. Like I'm at least get to the.
Most of
entree.
them were like meals.
That's
Most
what I'm
of them.
saying. Like I feel like I could get through most of it, but some of the stuff was like they were just crazy. I don't know. Have you ever like been on a date with somebody and they like
have you lost your appetite?
so rude or like crazy?
No. I've never been on a date with someone who was extremely rude where I couldn't take it or they were like crazy.
Yeah, I stopped talking to them if they're rude before I even would go out. Like,
Yeah, but you know sometimes.
Well, Carson is not like assholes, so it's not difficult for me to believe that I would be on a date with an asshole.
But I think that when like, especially certain jobs, I think people don't give it as much respect as it should. So I don't know if you like service. People don't tend to respect them as much.
I was a
that's
waitress,
true.
so I look at that shit. If you didn't tip, I look at that. If you were very rude to the waitress, I definitely look at that.
I was like that's something where it's like
Okay, I've been on one of those before, and
it's
I was
like we'll never do this again.
No, like,
but also
no.
I feel like guys, I would like us to be better at conversation.
yes,
Like
have
it's
topics.
it's one of those things where like a date shouldn't feel like pulling teeth to get information. If I ask
It's
you
not
a
an
question,
interrogation, please.
you can ask me the same question back, or
a different one, like something.
Like let's make it flow, or
Yeah.
you know, have some opinions. You
One-sided
ask a guy,
conversations
"What's
are
your favorite color?"
interrogations.
Red.
That go for every
Exactly.
nigga.
Like you
No,
can't say comma you. Like what the fuck? Like,
It just they don't even be like
trying
it
to
just
make
ends.
it. Yeah, just
And it's like y'all don't know how to have a
blanket.
conversation without escalation. So you asked you what your color was, you say red,
You
and
be like, "Are
then-
you a freak?"
exactly? That's the
They
next
fucked in
one.
the ass.
Yeah. Shout out to I Am Vontae, yo. That nigga right there is hilarious on Instagram. But what I think what makes me the most upset from niggas is like, well, I'm tired of talking to pretty girls with no personality. Nigga, you ain't got no personality. You can't hold a conversation. How are you so upset? It makes no
or at
sense.
least you don't know how to show your personality.
Exactly.
Because
You're literally
not saying anything
attracting.
about your interests. You're not saying anything about trying to figure out what my interests are. But if I'm sitting there asking you repeated questions and you just like answer it without any type of
Girl, it's a job
open-ended
interview,
answers for me to have a response of my own, like what
That's
is
what I'm
this?
saying.
Like,
And
they're not gonna get the job.
Well, she
Like-
just used me for food. Like, no, nigga, that's you feel like that because you had nothing to offer.
yeah,
Oh yeah, they're bad at conversation. So get better at conversations. 2021.
So
Like-
as far as this hell date, how long would y'all stay if he shows up with a Trump hat?
I don't think I could do it.
I think
So would
that's
y'all
the
like-
first thing we're talking about. And if I don't like what he has to say, we have to go.
Okay.
I don't know, a black guy that's a Trump supporter. I'm actually kind of interested. I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested to like hear what she has to say.
She likes like arguing and like varying opinions. She's like, I love a discussion.
I do love a discussion.
I'm here for it, but I don't know if I would
I can't
stay
discuss
in the setting of
fundamental
a
rights.
date.
Yeah, I
Like,
couldn't do it.
If we're at a platform where it's like an open forum, then tell me more. Try to give me details that make sense. Because the more you say it, I feel like the more you'll look stupid. But let's see where this goes.
No, I feel you. I did go on a date this year with somebody that like was in like a white frat, like a black guy, and I was like,
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that. Shit's weird.
yeah,
Chad. Shit's weird.
What was that his name?
no.
I don't know.
Oh.
But like
Just
he
wanna
was in
picture.
like a pike or it's like a white fraternity. He's like, yeah, there wasn't a lot of, I guess, presence in the school that he went to, which
No.
That's unfortunate.
Sorry.
I feel it.
I mean,
As
you
a
went to an HBCU. so-
PWI attendee. Like,
Yeah,
he was
it's-
looking for friends, but I wouldn't have found them.
But
there.
like the thing is, I'm like, I get, like he was like went on like was on the board or like went to like spokesperson
Good for him.
them. I just was like, for a white man,
yeah.
you working
You token.
for the white man on conferences for the white man.
I bet you he's a big brother to every other black student who joined.
I mean,
I hope they're not that
duh. I was gonna say, I don't know. I couldn't. I don't know. I think that's a little.
I mean,
weird.
once there's one, it opens it up to others.
It's a no for me. So, what about our disaster date stories? Carson, you can start.
I don't feel like I go on that many dates. Well, actually defined it, but like, okay, so some people, right? Like the date will be fine, but they turn out to be disaster. Like that's a category.
Yeah.
And like actual disaster dates. I've got a few. So let's say this is last year, actually, 2019. I'm going somewhere. I forget where. And I don't know how I got this old man's information, but like he asked me
on a sugar daddy website.
Wasn't you from FET?
I don't remember. I think it was out. Like I don't think it was those two.
Okay.
I been? I'm not gonna,
I'm here for the hustle.
incriminate myself. I do have a sugar baby story that's not necessarily involving me, but I gotta steak.
I remember that one. But
I gotta
that's another
steak dinner
podcast.
out of
If
that.
we want to have stories about that, I could tell a story.
right, let us
It's
know.
not my story,
Let
but
us-
I'ma tell it.
Let us know if you want to hear that. But all right, so it's actually the same place that I went with that guy whose girlfriend was cussing the fuck out.
I think you should stop going to that place. That place is bad luck for you.
Bro,
It might
brunch
be.
is good though.
It is. I love
Just
that
go
place.
with your friends. I'll go with you.
Bro,
We don't need the men.
all right, so
Not for there.
so in the veil of light, this old man looked even older. I was like, all right. This.
Those
How
grays were
old?
glistening in the
Yeah.
sun.
No. And so I'm just like, because at first I thought he was older, but I'm like, you're like parent older. Like I thought we was more like older male.
Mm-hmm.
You're like grandpa. No.
Oh shit.
Well, like
Young grandpa.
baby young grandpa.
Well, I mean, our parents are of age to be grandparents.
Very
Yeah,
true.
So keep that in mind.
All
right.
Go ahead.
I can't really remember too much because I was definitely there. Like, bro,
What the fuck?
I'm such a hoe for food. Like, it was crazy because he was talking to me, and like while we were waiting, he ran into his relatives,
Which relatives? Curses?
his parents.
Oh my god.
So this old nigga's older parents start strolling through because they wanted brunch too.
Listen, not only did they want brunch, but as soon as they saw their son, I bet you they were looking for their next daughter-in-law.
Ooh.
You better shut that up.
They were just like, this is the one. This is wife number 3.
Mm-mm.
We're in there.
I don't.
She looks young. We're getting grandkids.
Oh
The
shit.
thing is,
Oh my god,
I
am I
found
right?
out he already had kids.
How many, Carson?
Guess how many, Kennedy? Not one.
Okay.
Not two.
Mm.
Not three.
Girl.
But 4.
4 babies.
How do you know how old they were? Or how old the oldest?
16 or 17.
So closer to your age.
Yeah. That's too close.
Way too
Yeah.
Too close.
close. Mm-mm.
Right. But that's not even yeah,
I
that
can't
was
even. Like your
I
auntie,
guess-
for real.
the date itself wasn't bad, but like all of that was just like right now my car, and I was like, I need to do better. I think that next day I went to confessional. I was like, I am leading my life astray. I should not put myself into these environments. I need the Lord. Well, that actually made me think. There was another time that I was talking to this person, and I ran into them at my brother's sporting event, and they were there for their kid.
Huh.
Whoa.
One of their kids.
Oh. Mm-mm.
They, 1 out of 5.
Shit.
This is not even the worst part because we didn't really talk after that. But he was like, all right, he'd been married twice,
Dang.
and he said he would do it again.
Why? You didn't like it.
I was like, you didn't learn your lesson. There's no reason. And he was like, you would have another kid. For what reason?
He sounds like a man who loves love.
No, I think people just stop
And
picking
doesn't
up
know
babies.
how to do it right.
Stop
Well,
picking up
no.
babies like souvenirs from each relationship you have.
Well,
Damn,
he got
that's
married
big facts.
more than... All right, so he had a kid when he was like 18. And then he got married, then had 3 kids. And then had another kid in the second marriage. And that went in divorce. I'm like, you just You need
You don't like being tied down.
You need to be single.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I guess he was married and had all those kids, but I'm like, why the fuck would you want to get married again? 3 strikes, you're out. Like, that's it. You tried once, it didn't, like, if you didn't learn your lesson then.
Mm-mm.
But I'm trying to think. Like I said, this is not a date. I guess we'll come
Hold
back.
up,
I'll
hold
let
up.
you guys go.
Carson, I feel like it is very interesting how the last episode I was on, we talked about not dating niggas with kids.
That's why the fuck
And
I don't
you
do
said
it.
that real loud, and here you are with all these stories, and these niggas
It's
didn't
2.
have just 1, not 2. They had 4+ kids, each of them, and you talk about you can't even take a baby.
That's facts. That's facts.
All right, babies, right? Niggas aren't. Y'all are still emotionally invested. Like the placenta still hasn't fallen out. You gotta give your family a chance. Y'all not ready to move on. Hey, but those people. After I found out there were kids, like it was a done deal. The one
That many
person,
kids,
like,
you can't even claim all of those on your taxes.
girl,
After 3, that's it.
That's funny.
like I said, I said what I said.
Duly noted. And I gotta live my life. My life plan has just shifted. Okay, we in business. All right.
Terrible, but all right. So I have another. It's not necessarily. I've had disaster hangouts or like really funny.
You can go ahead.
I don't know if you guys want to go with dates before we get into hangouts.
Okay, we can do that. All right. So mine was in episode Joker's Out. We discussed how niggas like to have different names, and I thought only women did that. But I experienced that on a dating app. This is the first time I experienced it. So I was on POF, young hot thing, 2016. What were we, 20?
Girl, I think
Yeah.
so.
You were 20? Okay, so I was staying at University of Maryland because I had an internship over the summer. So I was just moving, I was shaking, and I was really on the apps. So this guy hits me up. I meet him at PG Plaza Mall for a movie. And when I get there, he's like, okay, well, this is my real name. And I was like, okay, done Bachelorette number 1. Continuing to hang out with him, and we get to the movie, and it was a pretty good movie. I think it was The Purge, and that was the first Purge movie I had seen. It was really good, but I kept noticing every 10 to 20 minutes, this nigga would get up out the theater. He would walk outside the theater, like his phone was blowing up. And so I'm starting to, think in my head, either baby mama,
That nigga
married, girlfriend, or he's a drug dealer. And honestly, drug dealer was my first one. It was my first go-to. I was like, why do I keep attracting these niggas? What about me? Says drug dealer, trap queen girlfriend. So he keeps doing that.
Give the image
You
of
know,
being a
drug
trap
dealers
queen.
love college
You
girls.
that girl, they like the educated woman who about that life. You give off that you could fight somebody.
Really?
She don't.
I don't know.
I feel like if you
Everything I meet thinks I'm bougie
you
as
know
hell.
her, you know her. A lot of bougie people can back their shit up.
True.
To me, you give more.
And you
I
have
don't know
a
if you-
stature like you just like, why are you talking to me? Like,
I will say you do kind of give a nose up.
yeah,
But
like
to
you give
me-
that like, okay, like, and you're speaking to me why,
And,
which
like-
gives like I'm going to defend myself.
Oh, wow.
And
In Real Housewives of Potomac, you're giving more Candace than Monique. If anybody's caught up.
I kind of like Candace.
No, I mean, the only thing with Candace, I feel bad because they had one argument with her and her husband. I'm like, you making me empathize with a white man.
oh
Like,
god,
Yeah.
But
that sounds
Candace is cute as hell.
She is. So, okay, so he
But-
continues to keep doing this, and I'm like, okay, the movie is over. So now I'm asking, so what was up? I feel like you didn't, I mean, it's obviously not a full meal, but we didn't eat a little something. We're getting ready to go. I'm about to get my hot ass back on a train. What was up? Why'd you keep leaving like every 10 to 20 minutes? And 20-year-old, was real, like, fire. Like, if I wanted to know something, I'm asking that shit. He was like, oh, my friends kept texting me and calling me to see if he was down. Nigga, down with what?
What did he say when you asked?
He was like, down for the team. And I was like, yeah. Now, mind you, okay, I gotta preference this nigga. This nigga right here was, I wanna, yes,
I'm stuck.
I wanna say
The
this
audacity.
without, Audacity has been
The
high.
audacity.
Audacity was real high in 2020, but Audacity has been
What
growing
the
up high.
actual fuck?
So he said that, and he said that he kept texting him like, nah, bro, like, I really don't think she's that type of girl. But they kept like wanting to know. So my next thought is like, is that something that you do?
Sounds like it. Like every time you go on a date, they asking that.
Right.
So you the one who's pulling in the bitch who's for the
Well, he
team.
was. I had seen some of
You're
his
the
other friends.
initiator of
He
the
was
trains.
cute. Like he was hood cute. Like he's the type of dude where it's like, you know what? You're not disrespectful.
You
like
hold
you
his
pay. Huh?
He was the type that you would put his weed in your purse.
He didn't smoke or drink. Which
So,
made me.
He's a real dealer. I like that.
He didn't
I know,
smoke.
right?
He didn't
I'm
drink.
actually low-key
He didn't.
intrigued
He
now.
didn't sell drugs, but he
Huh.
definitely was, from the neighborhood. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave my
Yeah, no, you
description of
should.
him at that. He was from the neighborhood. He had tats. We stuck into an abandoned building. Like
Ma'am.
this nigga right here. I don't know. I was intrigued.
He
so
was low-key
me,
about it.
I
But
think
he was smart enough not to be about it.
she had a bad boy face.
yeah, I did, and he was a part of it. Like
There's
I
an
was.
appeal. There's an appeal.
I've never really had a bad boy face.
I like it.
I've been in the
I like it. I
athlete
like the
phase,
bad boy
like,
phase
in a revolving
who
door.
are educated. Them ones.
Girl,
Them ones.
I think he had gone like
Who-
vocational school.
I was gonna. I don't know. One time, like a hood nigga. See, I can't even say it right. Try to approach me, and I'm like, bro, what do you do for work? I just, I make things
I'm a
happen.
business owner.
Bro, what that mean? Like, I don't know.
I
I'm
work
slow.
for myself. I'm not.
I will, but we're gonna have
bet.
probably. We won't talk about it now, but like, there's only been one person that I've been on a date with that loved their job, and that was a scammer. But,
I remember you telling me about that, but
we'll get into that.
But yeah, so I was just intrigued by him, and I think I did go through a bit of a bad boy phase where I was just like,
you think?
I recall saying, "Yo, I want a nigga." Now I know that is stupid, but he wasn't like disrespectful or anything. Like he was real cool. He helped me.
God, look at you.
He helped me move out of my my.
that's nice.
Yeah, he was nice. Now, of course, when I pulled
Wait,
up with
hold
him,
up. You continue to talk to him after he said his friends was trying to.
Yeah.
yeah, because he was like, "No, she's not the type of guy. She's not the type of girl." Like I don't know.
That's so interesting.
20-year-old should know.
You're right. This was.
But
years
when
ago.
it was, and when I pulled up with him, like to help me move out of my, because I was staying on UMB's campus. When I moved out, my dad was like, "Where the fuck did she find him?" Like he was going off. My mom was like, "Calm down. He's just helping her." She's like, "Nah. He got to go. He got to go."
Love it. Dad was just like, "Yo, what the fuck? How did I
All right, so distraction number 2 out the way. This episode is just gonna be amazing.
Yeah, but we're gonna get through it by any means necessary.
Any means necessary. We need to go back to our old space where there wasn't as many. But I feel like it's whenever you're doing something, that's when people want to talk to you.
Basically. But that was kind of the end of that story. So it's not so much that the date itself was a disaster. It was just like, wow, that's probably the most interesting thing that's ever happened to me on a date.
Let's say I have a few dates we can get into maybe later in this series, but I do want to talk about this wasn't a date. I don't know what the fuck this nigga thought it was.
Okay, well let's hear Kennedy's story first.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've had any like bad dates. Anything that I would actually consider a date didn't go terribly. Like as far as hangouts,
Well, you can start the
Them
hangouts then.
shits.
Go ahead.
can go sideways. But I can say probably the one that stands out the most is when this nigga had me waiting in Chipotle, waiting for him. And so, like, I was just like, well, shit, this ain't gonna go good. He's already late, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get my food, sit down and see if he shows up, call it a day, and leave when I feel like it.
Right.
Like, that was, like, completely ridiculous because at the time, and still, I took a Uber there because I was like, oh, I'm not trying to have him pick me up. And I was like, oh, are you there? He said yes, because I lived pretty close. So I show up and I'm like, well, where the fuck is he at? I'm texting him. He was like, I'm like parking. Okay. 5 minutes past, standing in the line, just do. Text him again. He's like, it like took me around the shopping complex or whatever, and I was just like, nigga, what the fuck? How are you still using like a GPS while you're in the parking lot? Like, you're lying. Like, you're not here.
You just
You
be lying. Like, you don't even
And
need
it's
to
like-
lie. What you got to lie for, Craig?
It was just unnecessary, so I was just like, all right, I'm already over this. Let me just go ahead and get my food and see if he has anything to say while I sit down and eat. But I would say that was probably the worst, just because of the blatant like lying for no reason. Other than that, like, they don't to go too sideways because I'm already saying no from rip. any little indication of dumb shit, I'm just like, never mind.
I feel like Kennedy Heat's done Bachelorettes a little better than me and Carson do.
Yeah, we be just in the
Going
middle of
for
shit.
it.
Like, wow.
Y'all really do, but that's
No.
why y'all have this amazing ass podcast, because
that's sweet.
y'all get to
No,
talk
we
shit
just-
about
the
all of
stories.
the shit.
We just be dumb as hell. Just in the
Like-
middle. Like, bro.
La la la.
Yo, I think of so many times in which I'm like, how the fuck am I here? How did
No, but like,
you be like, how did I?
you're
This
giving
is not
people
a dumb-
chances.
this is-
Like that's not terrible. It's just like people are just terrible.
This
sometimes.
one time after I was hanging out with somebody, it was so bad that I got back late. I woke my mom up because I'm like, somebody
Damn.
needs to hear how the fuck this night turned out.
That's
It was
hilarious.
so, but I was with a female friend. That's a whole nother story in itself. I do remember waking my mom up. She's like, "Are you just now getting home?" That's besides the story. Like, listen,
Yell about that later.
yeah, like listen to what I had just experienced. All right, but back to the I don't know what the fuck that nigga thought. This was also last year. So
When will we learn?
when will we learn?
We actually have a lot of 2019 stories, and I thought 2019 was a very slow year.
No, you thought the Very Freaky Girls was slow?
No, but that was the latter part. Yeah, shit, you're right. Go ahead. Ignore me. Go ahead.
This was like I think right when we fall back, so it was like a little dark in the evening time. I messaged this person and they were talking. You know, I'm always into getting fit, so they said, "Oh yeah, you know, like you want to work out, we can do the blah blah blah. If you wanted to come over, like I just have this spot." And so like they live pretty close to where I currently live, so I'm like, all right, I'll peek around the corner or whatever.
Low mileage.
Very well. And so like we get to this apartment complex and he takes me to the gym and like ain't really much there except for like a cable machine, which like cable machine does a lot, but like this a small ass gym.
So you'd be bragging on it.
Yeah. So then he was like, all right, you want to come like see or my room and stuff? And I'm like, all right. So we walk into the apartment and like it's in like disarray. Like it's a whole bunch of shit everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I just moved. And I was like, well, why invite me? But like, okay, you know, I guess you're excited. So then while we like walk further and his mom comes out of nowhere.
Not the mom.
She's like, hey, nice to meet you.
Mm-mm.
And I'm just like, hi, but I'm looking at her house in this fucking mess that this nigga brought me into, and I'm just like, I would never. My mom would never. Like, I could never. And it gets worse because he brings me into his, I'm putting in quotation marks, room. Because only thing in that room was a dresser and a wooden bed frame. Like, and I need y'all to understand, like, there was no box spring, no air mattress. Nigga didn't have pillows. I think he had, like, a comforter. Like, and then it was like...
A comforter for the wooden bed frame?
Bitch, I don't know.
He was going to sleep on the wood. Okay,
I just
that
was
the
like,
plan.
bro, why am I in here? So I'm just sitting on there. And
What else was missing, Carson?
there was some TV, no Wi-Fi, no.
So he didn't have no Netflix, but Netflix and chill. He was trying to do.
Bro, he
He
tried to, like...
didn't have internet for y'all to do it on his phone.
It wasn't no YouTube and chill. It wasn't even that. Like, just... When I tell you, like, the thing that got me... Alright, so as I'm sitting on this wooden bed frame, trying not to get a splinter.
You sat on the bed frame. You did not tell me that.
Bro,
why?
Isn't
I
that
supposed to
basically the same
stand?
thing as sitting on the floor?
basically, I was like, I didn't want to stand.
I did not know he invited you to sit on the wooden bed frame.
I was sitting on
Yo.
and then he tried
Bro,
to like
with your
lay
long
on me.
Nigga.
Sitting 2 inches off of the ground on a wooden frame.
He tried to lay on me, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. My best friend's dog is giving birth, and I can't. I was like, I just gave some excuse, and I was just so offended.
That's a lot to be offended about.
Why
People
the
can
fuck
be
would
so
you invite
comfortable
me?
with so little.
I
don't know if I should be amazed.
Girl, I'm mad at
offended.
I just like the mom. Like, why was that okay for you to have him come?
It wasn't.
And then you didn't have no bed. There was no air mattress. Like, what made you think I was the type of bitch that I would be with you in the mud?
We
like,
really
I'm
about
not.
to fuck on a slab of wood, nigga. Like,
Or talk, or have a conversation. What did you think was going to
on
happen?
a slab of
We
wood.
ain't got no car.
We could have been at a park, for that matter.
Don't cars. That's another story. That is
Ma'am.
another time. Carson has stories.
You sure Carson does?
She might be Kennedy. We all got fucking stories. Carson has stories. Kennedy has stories. Chanel has stories. I have the most. I have a lot of like,
Yes,
you have the most.
really
You have the
do.
most.
trifling nigga stories.
You just be letting you just be going for it. You
no,
just
I
try.
wouldn't even say me going for it. It's just like, how the fuck did I end up here?
But then that's how you work for it. They say you want to hang out, and you be like, is
All
your
right.
food involved? Yes, okay.
Well, there's one time I didn't want to be home, and this is going to the car story. So
And
I told
that's
this
fair enough.
I told this person to pull up, and they did, and they lived farther away. So like they pulled up, and this is like at this point I was like 6 months of like no sex, no nothing, and so I'm like, all right, Carson, nothing's about to happen, because I'm like, should I shave? I'm like, if I shave, then like something may or may not happen. So like I'm not gonna shave.
Right.
So I get in the car. And we're driving. This man was like, hey, he touched my thigh. And I was like, damn, it's a wrap. It's happening. It's over with. It's going down.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
This is the
It be
ponytail
like
story.
that sometimes.
Not the ponytail story.
Yes, it's all involved. So we go to his house. He doesn't live close to me. So we're in the car for a little bit. And we pull up. And like, I'm like, yeah, I just kind of want to like chill, like watch TV or watch a movie or something. And I guess he didn't have a TV or Netflix, so he pulled out a deck of cards.
What?
Like,
What?
like
No.
No,
Wait.
I'm just so thrown, niggas. How do you? How are you inviting me?
I guess
How
the
do
You
thing-
can get a
so-
decent TV for under $200.
The thing
How do you
is,
feel so comfortable inviting
the thing
someone
is,
to
I
this?
will say I kind of invited myself because I'm like, I don't want to be home. Like, I don't pull
Okay.
up on you. I just want to like watch movies and chill.
Right.
He just didn't tell me.
He had no movies to chill
you
with.
He didn't
said movies, right?
Yeah, I did.
So
I
he
did.
ain't say I ain't got that.
Of course, not. That'd be too much. Like, right?
Yeah, no, but all right. So, of course, at this point, like I said, I'm going on for 6 months and
what-
nothing happening.
Wow.
Ain't nothing to do but look at cards. So, what ends up happening is, the dude.
Maybe that was his plan.
Probably.
The TV was in the closet.
Probably.
The TV
You know
was in
what?
the closet.
Niggas be dumb, but sometimes
I don't know.
They know how to get what they
Allegedly,
want.
I don't know. He's
They
coming off
ain't
of work.
all the way stupid.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm tending to believe him, but
I'm
I
gonna
will
say
say-
the TV's in the closet. That's the only way that's gonna make sense to me.
Because
girl,
how is he
it gets-
living without TV? He
how's-
got on Netflix. He does
Not even just that. Like a lot of dudes
or-
play games and stuff, and I'm
That's
like,
true.
on
Well,
what?
his stuff is like his room is in like the basement area, so I don't know if like
He
Oh,
just
goes
doesn't have one in
upstairs.
his
yeah,
room.
yeah. I don't know if that's
okay.
Okay.
But
Okay,
the
I'll take
story,
it.
there's
I'll
more.
take it.
to
There's
that-
more.
This
Girl,
particular.
There always is.
How?
All right, so as the do was happening, right? Since I didn't plan on doing anything, I'm as a black woman who likes to change her hair up. I got a few different styles. So I
Right.
had like my fake bun on,
Cute.
and it was cute. It looked real. It was giving. I have long hair. It was giving
It was
me.
giving real.
It was giving real, right? And so what
Oh
ended
my
up
god.
happening? What ended up happening was,
Oh no.
since I didn't shave, I didn't think anything was gonna happen. I didn't secure it. The way that you should secure my DIY faux bun. So at this point, we're doing the tango, essentially, right? And I'm on top. And he goes to grab. He goes to
He
grab.
thought it was real. He thought he
No, he
was
goes to
safe.
grab the
He was
bun
like,
as
"Yeet."
an aggressive thing. Girl, he then takes the bun, right? Because it's not secure. It comes off. My man chucks it.
You're like, fuck that.
And chucks it across the bed. And so, like, I'm on top while this is happening. And I think I orgasmed. So, like, I don't know if you guys ever had, like...
He was not phased. He said, fuck it, she's doing the thing. Fuck that shit. I'm
threw
reaching
it.
for whatever's left.
He threw it like a football, and it's just too many emotions going on at one time. And I was like, come.
Like, let's just release somehow. So.
I just was like, oh my god, it was so bad because like it didn't stop there, and so the most humbling experience is when I was going to leave.
You did not pick it up. Did you
Trying
put it back on?
I had to find it. I could not leave without it. So like in the dark, I was like, Velma from. I'm crying.
Where's my bun? Where's my bun?
Popped it back on.
No, you did not.
You popped it back on. Did he say anything?
No.
Niggas don't care.
And I appreciate him for that.
Oh my god.
But like,
he didn't care
like Coco and Troy.
It was cool.
From Dear White People. When Troy put on the what is it? The do-rag thing? No, not the same thing. Kenny's giving me not the same thing.
I'm confused.
No, Dear White People, this show on Netflix.
Oh.
No, this, I don't think that was what it was. Because like,
I'm remembering the scene.
Yes.
Because he was like touching my hair too. It was I've never been so, like I said, I just so many different emotions. I was so shook.
Humbling
because like I was still,
the word.
it was happening, like we were having, like it was going on while this happened. So just imagine, that's, and then he just takes your bum, he grabs it, and you're like, oh shit, and it's no longer
it's
on
airborne,
right? And then
he chucks it like a football.
He throws it to the end zone.
He's trying to score, girl. He ain't worried
He
about
already did. That's why he wasn't phased. He just keep going. He's not trying to say nothing.
That was a very embarrassing story. This is not.
Did y'all go for round 2 while the bum was off? Please say yes.
Probably. When I do it like I'm pulling up, like we're getting a few rounds in. Okay. But no, like I did look for it. I did put it back on. And I went to sleep, and I was just like, God, I need Jesus. It was so bad.
Okay.
That story was not meant to be told, but now I feel like we gotta change the name of the episode.
Probably. That was funny. Okay, so let me see if I have a hangout story. So I moved to Baltimore like a year ago. So while I was just trying to get used to the scene and such, I Ubered out to see this dude who lives in Towson. It's about 20 minutes away. So I pull up. First of all, he was a hype fish. That's the first thing I noticed. Niggas, please.
Did you say hype fish?
Hype
or
fish.
hash?
Oh,
okay.
hype fish, girl.
Girl, what be the worst
That's
is when they be
story.
doubling up.
All the fishing.
So he, all the fishing basically. So he took pictures from the angle that makes you look taller.
No,
Mm-hmm.
He did. So I pulled up and this nigga had a tattoo on his face. So his pictures, I'm in off a dating app. I think Tinder. I should have known, but his pictures did not reflect the height or the tattoo. So already I'm on guard. It was like near his, under his eye or near his nose. We're going to get into, yes. It's not like a murder,
teardrop.
Yeah.
Okay, see, they said it was murder, but I heard in prison that means you're just somebody's bitch, and they just said it was murder because nobody wants to be.
But why would you get that tattooed on you?
Because you're somebody's bitch.
Okay. Well, either way. So I get there, and it's a nice.
Have a choice.
It's a nice place.
I don't know.
It's a really nice place. So we pull up. I pull up. We go inside, and I'm like trying to ignore these two things: the height and the tattoo. I'm like, you know what? At bare minimum, maybe I'll watch a good movie, have a good conversation, because I'm all about a conversation when I hang out with someone. So we're chilling, and he starts asking me murder questions. Murder questions, you ask. What are murder questions, Chanel? Does anyone have your location right now? Now, mind you, anytime I hang out with someone, I always send Carson or someone, or my brother or someone, my location. Yes, but the fact that you ask, I've never had a dude ask me that before. Does anyone have your location right now? You're young, you're 23. I was 23 at the time. I can't believe your parents let you move out to Baltimore. It's a rough city out here.
Yeah, that's weird.
All these weird things. So if you went missing right now, would anyone know where you were? That's a direct quote. And I was like, yep, it's about time for me to go. But I'm like, this nigga's a murderer, so I don't want to keep him on alert. So I'm like, I'm hungry. Let me order Uber Eats. So I order Uber Eats. No, I ain't ordered him nothing. He was,
Why didn't you just order an Uber?
He's a murderer.
Well, no, I'm just
She
saying.
was trying to be sneaky.
I was
with
trying
it.
to be discreet.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, why would you say I'm ordering Uber Eats? And
Well, I
then
still want to eat.
I mean, she thinks she's about to get murdered, but
a good last meal.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, just say that you're ordering Uber Eats and just be a regular Uber. Be like, oh, it's
Like I said, I wanted to eat.
Okay, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
As a fat bitch, I do.
Yeah. So I order Uber Eats. I'm like showing him like, oh yeah, my tacos are coming. and so it was a place that I picked a place that was very close to him, so like we could hurry up and get this thing. I was there for all of 30 minutes. So
that was like doing the wood frame. No, what's a wood thing? I was not in that guy's house either for long. Like that shit was like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl.
Gotta go. So
you want to call them plywood?
Yes.
Plywood.
Yeah. As soon as I left, I FaceTimed Chanel and I was like, bitch, this nigga had the motherfucker like, oh, you would not believe what just happened.
Yeah, basically. So I'm my food is here. So I go outside and he's like, oh, you sure you know how to get back? I take all my stuff with me. He didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cold outside, so I really just had like a coat and stuff. I ain't pack an overnight bag or anything. But I take what I have, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know how to get back. I went outside. I did not come back. He didn't, like, message me to, like, ask me where I was. So I waited until I was in an Uber, like, 10 minutes going in my direction. And I was like, yeah, this just isn't going to work. And he was like, wow, Houdini, like... No shit like that's ever happened to me. I was like, first time for everything, bruh. But
that's some shit I was saying.
No, he was just like, wow, she just escaped with her life.
Yeah, like and then he matched with me again. Yeah, he matched with me again.
The one that got
Tinder.
away.
Yeah, a few days later, like, what's up, Houdini? Not answering.
Blocked.
Not answering. Yes, that's why you're blocked. Another hangout story. I hung out with a guy. He was really cool. We watched How to Get Away with Murder, which I absolutely love.
Do you want to save this for the part 2 of this?
Oh no, it's not a long story. And you remember, I think a few episodes ago, we talked about how like a girl can want to be freaky, but just not want to be freaky with you. So I liked him, but I was like, you know what? I actually like him. I kind of want to get to know him like before we take that step. So we're laying in bed because first of all, he was like, oh, well, you know, it's kind of getting late. Like, do you want to lay down? I didn't bring a bag again. Like, I wasn't planning on spending the night. He was like, well, you can't wear your street clothes on my bed.
Oh, that's what's his name?
I was like,
I think you talked about this.
I did.
And like, did that episode come out? Damn.
No, I don't think so.
You're right. This might not have come out.
So
never mind.
Yeah, so we'll edit that part out. But I was like, okay, well, do you have clothes for me? Because I'm not about to like just sleep, you know, bra panties like naked on your bed. Like, do you have clothes? You're like, yeah, I got clothes for you. And he was a little thick too. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I put on his clothes and we're laying in bed. He's like, okay, well, I want you. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. And he was like, okay. Like, he backed up. Like, we still cuddled. We were cool. And I was like, oh my God, this nigga was hella respectful. Like, next time I come over, like, I'm going to initiate. This nigga blocked me. As soon as I got home, he was like, let me know when you get back home. I texted him. He said, glad you made it home safe. And then he blocked me.
Wow.
Like, little do you know, like, seriously, like, niggas, like,
you had to hold out was for another 24 motherfucking hours.
Basically, 24 hours, I would have went right back.
That
and
is
been
so
like,
tragic. Like, I was literally about to be like, oh, wow, like, that's great. And I was like, that's so crazy that the standards are just respect. And then you get it. And then it's just like...
Literally, the standard is respect.
And you didn't even want to wait. That's
wild stuff. But I appreciate that obviously he wasn't cool with it, but I appreciate he didn't kick me out. He wasn't rude. He wasn't like, he didn't do any of that stuff.
That reminded me of another story, but...
We're over time.
We are.
Who are we blocking?
Right.
Long as season 1 wrap up.
Any haters, anybody that doesn't like that's why you're blocked. Automatic. But no, niggas that are bad on dates, niggas with multiple kids,
and niggas who can't communicate, can't have a conversation.
Yeah, people who can't communicate. There's several people, but
Trump supporters.
Definitely
niggas who try Netflix and chill without the Netflix.
We will definitely get all this. So let us know,
facts, bro. Without the bed.
Oh yeah,
Murderers.
Anybody that invites you over, anybody who feels like it's okay to invite somebody to your bedroom with no bed, it's just a room. Like
just walls.
We in a glorified closet right now, bro. But niggas who pull off your buns.
I feel like it's that that really a bad thing? I feel like,
Have you,
ma'am, you said you had an orgasm as like,
girl? I don't know what it
sequential.
was. It was a lot
You were
going on.
confused.
I was so confused. I was embarrassed. I was turned on. It was
That's
just like-
embarrassing, but it probably was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
What's
probably
happening
was,
here?
It was a little bit of a quirk, you know?
Yeah.
You was like, ooh,
And as someone who wears ponytails, I don't know how I would react.
bro, just induct it. Just tossed it. But all right, yeah, we're getting a little off topic. So we want to thank everybody for listening to this first season, and we'll be back in February with season 2. Be on the lookout. We may or may not be collaborating in this little interim, making sure we get you guys this good content. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on our Instagram. We love you guys so very much. Let us know what you want to hear, because as we go through this, there's a lot of stories that we haven't talked about. Like
Believe it or not.
and if you want, I'm thinking in the new year we're gonna be open to giving some advice. We'll put our email in the description box. If you have any things that you want us to weigh in on, let us know. But yeah, that's why you're blocked. See you guys in 2020.
Bye.
2021.
Damn. See you in 2021. I mean, love you.